Hi guys, welcome back to the Artificer channel. Today I'm excited to review the OH-6A Cayuse, or affectionately known as the Loach. And this was a helicopter that was used extensively from the late 60s onwards as a reconnaissance helicopter, and it had a very big role in the Vietnam War, being able to provide fire support as well as provide effective air support with the use of its minigun. So let's have a look and see what we've got. As you can see, this is a kit from Italeri, and you can tell by the illustrations and also the wear and tear on the box, this kit is from the 1980s. But it's something that I was really looking forward to getting hold of. I couldn't believe my eyes when it became available. I mean, just look at that box art, it's gorgeous. So inside we only have really 3 sprues to work with, which is quite interesting, which means this is probably going to be quite a quick build, as you'll see. So looking at the instructions, there's a nice little bit of history there, and then it just goes straight into the build. Very typical, you've got the sprue guide with a few parts to use and other parts that are part of another kit. Straight away you can see that the cockpit construction looks very simplified. The detail is good, it's not amazing, but I think it'll do. And the actual construction of the fuselage onto the cockpit section is quite simplified, as you can see there. You can see the doors are open on one side and shut on the other side, which gives you the ability to have it in a stationary mode or in flight. And then we have the rotors with a little bit of detail for mini airfoils. Moving on, we have the decal examples, but I think on the back of the box makes more sense to go along with. Now with the decals, they are in much better quality than I thought. There is a little bit of aging, but overall the decals look quite nice, and if you wanted to, you can use the other ones for other vehicles, but I'm going to be using the decals from the Vietnam period. Now unfortunately, the only thing that lets this kit down is the clear plastic parts for the canopy. It's very worn, it's very tired, and it's got a lot of scratches on it. There are 2 things you can do. You can buff it up with Tamiya polish, which I highly recommend, or you can work with what you've got, maybe adding a few more scratches for battle damage. But overall, I think that the quality of the glass seems to hold through, especially because this kit is from the 1980s. For that, it's forgiven. So moving on to the sprues, you can see that the detail for the fuselage, the rivets, they all look quite nice. There is a little bit of flash, as you can see at the bottom and the top there, but I don't think it's going to be too hard to get rid of that and snip it. The rotors themselves have a little bit of wear and tear, but they don't look too bad, and the initial details of the flight sticks and the controls look quite nice also. Again, there are a few parts on this kit that do not appear in the instructions, but you can use a lot of those for spare parts, especially for airfield dioramas. Now of course the inside of the helicopter looks quite plain, but you can try and mess around with maybe using some putty to get some historically accurate interiors. And moving on to the other sprue, there's a lot more involved here. You've got the actual cockpit doors, which I think have nice detail, and I like the fact that you've got one side open and one side shut. The interior of the cockpit seems quite simplified, and there seems to be enough detail on the seats for you to get away with. But of course, you know me, I'm going to add pilots to mine. The skis look good, and also the fins for the stabilization of the chopper, and I'm really excited about the minigun. I think the detail is decent enough, but if we want, we might be able to just add a bit more on there. They even give you an ammo box at the back. The one thing I am impressed with is the flight controls. Look how nice these look. It almost feels like there's detail already on there. So all we need to do is just spruce that up with a good paint job, I reckon. And again, the other side of the helicopter looks pretty good. Not a lot of flash there. I think it'll be a nice quick build. So overall, I think that is going to be a pretty good kit to build. It's unusual. It's definitely something historically sought after. The only thing that lets it down is the clear plastic parts, but apart from that and the occasional flash, I reckon you'll have fun building this one. Well, guys, until the next review, I'll see you soon.